Okay, so we are ready to start talking about strings, and in this video we're going to slice some strings or cut up some strings into substrings. So let's start with this string, Abraham Lincoln. Okay, so I put that in the name variable. Now this particular string has 15 characters, including the space. The space is a character. And so we know that strings like lists are indexed behind the scenes. So the A has an index of 0, the B has an index of 1, and so on. So all the way through 14. So this 15 character string has indexes 0 through 14. So to isolate the first name, for example, we saw that you really slice strings the same way you slice lists. So you're not new to this technique. We've done it with lists though, not with strings. So if I want to grab that first name to just put it in the first variable, I can just reference the string, and you can put the starting index. And then this is like, I mentioned this when we were talking about lists using this technique. This kind of annoys me a little bit because you don't put the index of where you want to stop cutting. You go to one beyond. It's like this, the first argument here is the first item in the cut, and then the second argument is the first item not in the cut, not in the cut. I told you I thought that was weird. I still think it's weird. So, so that'll isolate the first name. Now, if I'm starting at position 0, I can omit that one. You can omit the 0 if you're starting at the beginning. So let's isolate the last name as well. So in this case, the L is position 8 in the string. Again, index of 8. It's probably the 9th. Yeah, it's the 9th character, but these are 0-based indexes, so it's position 8. And then I'm going, okay, again, that annoying thing. So we said that the string is index 0 through 14. So what's the first position not in the cut? That would be 15, which isn't even in the string. Okay, so yeah. Okay, there's that. All right, so that's fine. So I've isolated the first and the last name. Okay, and so if I wanted to do like a mail merge or something, I can isolate those last names and do a nice formal greeting in my letter. Okay, so what happens if I change this to a different president? Let me run it now. Okay, you knew what was going to happen. The first name worked out. In this case, we just got lucky there, but the last name did not work out. So what's the problem here? I can't hard code values for one name and expect it to work with all names. So we need to do a little finagling here if we want it to be universal and work with any name that we plug in there. So I'm going to do a second technique here. So this is the find method. And what I can do, and you know what, I should, disclaimer here, this is only going to work with a name like this who only has like one space. A lot of people have 3 names, for example. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, there are 2 spaces in a name like that. So this technique that I'm doing here is not going to work. Okay, we'd have to finagle it even further if we had multiple spaces, but let's just keep it simple here. So any name that I enter in this case is going to have just a first name, space, last name. That'll be the format. And so what I want to do is find that space. I'm going to find the index of that space, wherever it is in whatever name. I'll find the index of the space. I'll put it in the space variable. So now for the first name, I'm starting at the beginning. So you can put 0 there again, but you can omit that if I'm starting at the beginning, and I'm going up to the space. That's really the first character that's not in the cut, not in the slice. So that'll work great for the first name. And then for the last name, I want to start right after the space. My starting position is right after the space. So I offset the space by 1. So now I'm getting on the first character of the last name. And then I can omit that. If I just want to zip through to the end, I can omit the second argument there, the ending point. And that's it. So yeah, we can print that and it'll work out well. I was able to isolate the first name. I was able to isolate the last name. And you can see it'll work for any name that's in that particular format.